These foods are on every clean eating list. They're in every healthy breakfast article. Women choose them specifically to lose weight, and they're the reason you're standing in front of the fridge an hour later wondering why you can't stop eating. Today we're going through 10 of them, and for every single one, I'm going to show you the simple pairing that fixes it completely. Let's go. Food 1. Granola. Granola feels like a health food. It has oats, it has nuts, it has seeds, but pick up almost any packet in the supermarket and look at the sugar content. 8, 10, 15 grams per small serving. And that serving on the label? It's usually about half of what most people actually pour into a bowl. Double the serving, double the sugar. When granola is baked with honey, maple syrup, or coated in dried fruit, the glycemic response rises significantly. Eaten with skimmed milk, it spikes blood sugar fast, and the drop that follows brings genuine hunger back before mid-morning, even if you only finished eating 45 minutes ago. This is not a lack of willpower. It is a predictable physiological response to carbohydrate without the right support. Pair it with full-fat Greek yogurt. The protein and fat in the yogurt slow everything down. Keep the granola portion small, make the yogurt the main event, and add a handful of berries for fiber. Completely different blood sugar response. You'll feel full for hours. Food 2. Smoothies. A smoothie looks like a meal. It looks like nutrition in a glass. But most fruit smoothies, especially the ones made without protein, are essentially liquid sugar delivered at speed. When fruit is blended, the natural structure that slows digestion is broken down. Your body processes the glucose faster than it would from whole fruit. A banana, mango, and orange juice smoothie can send your blood sugar soaring and then crashing. Because it's liquid, it clears your stomach faster than solid food. Hunger comes back quickly. Build every smoothie with a protein base, Greek yogurt, or a clean protein powder. Add a tablespoon of almond or peanut butter for healthy fat. Swap high-sugar fruits for berries. Add ground flaxseed for fiber. Same convenience, completely different outcome. This smoothie will hold you properly. Food 3. Rice cakes. Rice cakes became popular as a low-calorie snack. And yes, they're low in calories, but they're also low in almost everything else. Protein, fat, fiber. What they are high in is their glycemic index, which for some varieties is higher than white bread. Eating rice cakes plain means you've consumed calories without creating any real satiety. Your blood sugar spikes briefly, drops, and your body sends a hunger signal before you've even put the packet away. Low calorie does not mean filling. Use rice cakes as a base, not a snack. Put avocado on them. Fiber and healthy fat. Cottage cheese, high in protein. Hummus and cucumber, fiber and plant protein. Nut butter, fat and protein. The topping is what creates the satisfaction. The rice cake is just the vehicle. Food 4. Toast with jam. Toast is often fine, especially sourdough, rye, or a proper seeded whole grain. The problem is what most people put on it. Jam is almost entirely sugar. Even a good quality fruit-only jam delivers a concentrated hit of natural sugars with almost nothing to slow it down. On white toast, that's a double hit. Refined carbohydrate plus pure sugar, with no protein, barely any fat, and very little fiber. The mid-morning energy crash that follows this breakfast is very real, and it drives cravings that feel impossible to resist. Keep the toast if you love it. Change what goes on top. Avocado and a poached egg. Nut butter without added sugar. Cottage cheese with cucumber or tomato. Smoked salmon. Each of these pairings turns the same piece of toast into a meal that genuinely carries you through the morning. Food 5. Fruit eaten alone. Fruit is full of vitamins, antioxidants, and real nutrition. Nobody is suggesting you stop eating it, but fruit as a standalone snack, especially high-sugar fruit like grapes, mango, melon, or banana, can cause blood sugar fluctuations that drive hunger, particularly for women over 40, whose insulin response may be less predictable than it once was. The fiber in whole fruit does help compared to fruit juice. But for many women, a banana on its own is still enough of a glucose event to produce a noticeable dip and a genuine hunger signal within an hour. Pair your fruit with protein or fat. Apple slices with almond butter. Berries with Greek yogurt. Pear with a small piece of cheese. Melon with cottage cheese. These combinations are delicious, genuinely satisfying, and completely change how your body processes the fruit sugar. Food 6. Low-fat flavored yogurt. Low-fat yogurt sounds like exactly the right choice. Lower calories, dairy, calcium. It checks every box on a conventional diet plan. But flip it over and look at the sugar content. A small pot of flavored low-fat yogurt often contains 12 to 20 grams of sugar, sometimes more. Some popular brands contain more sugar than a standard biscuit. When food manufacturers remove fat, the product loses its flavor. To compensate, they add sugar, sometimes under names like fructose, dextrose, or fruit concentrate, which are still just sugar. So the low-fat version you're choosing specifically to manage your weight may be delivering significantly more sugar than the full-fat version, and far less of the fat that would have slowed digestion and created real, lasting satiety. Switch to full-fat plain Greek yogurt and add your own flavor. A teaspoon of honey, a handful of berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon. You control the sugar. You keep the protein and the fat that actually fill you up. This is one of the easiest swaps with one of the biggest payoffs in terms of how satisfied you feel afterward. Food 7. To cereal. Even the healthy kinds, bran flakes, corn flakes, Special K, puffed wheat. The packaging promises fiber and whole grain. The nutritional reality is often a refined carbohydrate with a moderate amount of added sugar, eaten in a bowl of milk that adds some protein, but not enough to significantly moderate the glucose response. Most breakfast cereals, including ones specifically marketed as diet or health foods, spike blood sugar significantly. They're digested quickly, provide limited satiety, and send most people toward a snack or second breakfast by mid-morning. If you like cereal, choose one with at least 5 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber per serving, and eat it with full-fat milk or Greek yogurt rather than skimmed milk. Or pair it with a boiled egg on the side. Adding protein outside the bowl changes the entire metabolic response. Food 8. Dried fruit. Dried fruit is concentrated. When you remove the water from a grape, you get a raisin, which contains all the sugar of the grape in a much smaller, much easier to overeat package. A small handful of raisins contains significantly more sugar than the same volume of fresh grapes, is digested faster, and provides very little protein or fat to slow anything down. Dates, figs, dried apricots, and dried mango all fall into the same category. Genuinely nutritious in terms of minerals and some fiber, but a concentrated source of fast-releasing sugar when eaten alone. Trail mix and cereal bars that contain dried fruit and are marketed as natural snacks can deliver a surprising amount of fast-digesting sugar in a very small amount of food. The word natural on a label tells you nothing about the blood sugar response. If you use dried fruit, treat it as a flavoring rather than a snack in itself. A few raisins stirred into porridge with nuts and seeds is very different from eating a handful on their own. Always pair dried fruit with a protein and fat source to slow the glucose release. Food 9. Energy bars and protein bars. This one surprises people. Many energy bars, even ones marketed as healthy or natural, contain as much sugar as a chocolate bar just from different sources. Date paste, brown rice syrup, honey, and agave are all sugars regardless of how natural their origin is. Even some protein bars have enough sugar and refined carbohydrate alongside the protein that they still cause a significant blood sugar spike. The protein may moderate it somewhat, but for many products on the market, the sugar content is high enough that the bar functions more like a confectionery item than a satiety tool. The fix: read labels. Look for bars with at least 15 grams of protein, under 10 grams of sugar, and fiber from whole food sources. Or skip the bar entirely and have a small handful of mixed nuts and a piece of cheese. Real food, real satiety, no label confusion. Food 10. ACAI bowls. Açaí bowls have a health halo that their nutrition profile doesn't always support. The ACAI base itself is nutritious. It contains antioxidants, fiber, and some healthy fat. But by the time most ACAI bowls are assembled, with granola, honey, banana, and sliced mango on top, you're looking at a breakfast that can contain 50 to 70 grams of sugar. The portions are large, the sugar is significant, and without meaningful protein, the blood sugar response can be dramatic. Many women who eat açaí bowls for breakfast find themselves genuinely hungry within 90 minutes. Build your bowl with a protein-rich base. Blend in Greek yogurt or protein powder. Keep the toppings minimal and choose lower sugar options. A few fresh berries rather than banana and mango. A tablespoon of nut butter rather than honey. Skip the granola or use a very small amount alongside added nuts and seeds. 10 foods, 10 fixes. The pattern across every single one is the same. A carbohydrate eaten without the right pairing to moderate it creates a blood sugar response that drives hunger, cravings, and energy crashes. Over time, this cycle, eat, spike, crash, crave, eat again, is what makes healthy eating feel impossible to maintain. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because the foods themselves are working against your body's natural hunger signals. None of these foods need to be eliminated. Every single one of them can be part of a satisfying, sustainable, genuinely enjoyable way of eating. They just need the right partner. Protein slows digestion. Fiber slows the release of glucose. Healthy fat extends the time before hunger returns. Pair any of the foods on this list with one or more of these, and the experience of eating it, and the hours that follow, changes completely. That is the whole idea behind this channel. Not restriction, not obsessing over calories, not cutting out food groups you actually enjoy, just smarter combinations that work with your body, support steadier energy, and make the whole thing easier to stick to. Especially for women over 40, who have been given enough complicated rules that don't work. If this was useful, please subscribe. I'm releasing new pairing guides every week, and I'd love for you to be part of this community. Drop a comment below and tell me which food on this list surprised you the most. I read every single one. See you in the next one.